This is Jet with Pop Austin Media, and I got artist, producer, Khilla Keys in the building. How's life, my guy?
Life is good. Life is good. I cannot complain, my brother. I cannot complain.
See you shining, see you blinging.
No, just a little
Little
something.
something,
You know what I'm
something.
saying? Just,
A little something, something for Easter.
Nah, yeah. Always, you know what I'm saying?
Let's start from the beginning, though. Where you originally from?
I'm originally from St. Croix.
Oh.
Yeah.
How long were you out there?
I actually moved from there when I was 6. So, like, I've been in the States since I was, like, I did right before I turned 6. So I came here first time in first grade, so I went to pre-K and kindergarten out there. And my mother, she had joined the military, so we could.
So military brat, basically.
Yeah.
Do you remember anything about St. Croix?
Yeah, I have my earliest childhood memories from out there. Even my cousin, the biggest one, my cousin saved my life actually out there.
Dang.
When I was little. Yeah.
Speak on that. Speak on this childhood growing up out there for a little bit.
Nah, so like, no cap, it's a lot different. So,
I would imagine.
Yeah, like the lifestyle, the mannerisms, the authenticity of everything like that. I appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot like let's speak on the saving my life part, I guess. So we was at the beach because like we used to go to the beach like at least twice a week. You know what I mean? Like because we used to live in Christiansted, and there was a beach that was like maybe 10-minute.
I would think water is everywhere. Yeah. A lot out there.
The island is small, but like to be honest, if you're like in the middle of the island, the beach will still be like 30 minutes out. You know what I'm saying? So
easy access.
Yeah.
So you get to the beach.
Mm-hmm. So we went out there, and I was 3, and I wanted to ride in the back of the truck with my cousins and stuff like that, and because normally they had like. I had like a friend across the street, so like they would take me to go little play dates or whatever the heck out there, and but I wanted to go with my big cousins, and they was already grown and stuff, so they let me go with them, but they told me not to get too far deep into the water because I was only around with the little kids, so like they would go deeper, and I was like I wanted to follow them. Me out there, they're out there playing, doing their stuff. I was on the beach last time they saw me, so I went into the water. I was like I want to come. We just walking out. And I was just like, oh,
just went under.
Yeah. I was like 3 at the time, so like I didn't know what was going on. I couldn't really comprehend, but I still remember it because I remember being under the water and literally you know how it's like fight or flight. I had never learned how to swim yet, so like as I was still learning how to swim, so like
3.
I was just like. Help! And then I freaking started blacking out, and then I come to on the beach. My cousin had freaking was doing CPR on me, so like best believe he let me have it afterwards. He's like, I told you to stay on on the beach. I was like, I still remember that was like one of the most vivid memories. I freaking my pre-K freaking graduation stuff like that, because I remember right after there was this bakery that was right up the street. And my auntie always used to take me together to get some cinnamon buns, but I used to never be able to get the sprinkles on them. You know what I'm saying? But for like the graduation, because I had done like a special part, you know how they do rolls and graduation.
Yeah.
So yeah, she let me do some stuff out there. But it was like a lot of good times. There was a lot of hard times too. You know, I've been through a hurricane out there.
Eesh.
Yeah, they had to stop me from going outside because I was like, ooh, the water is full. I was like, I'm gonna go swim. They was like, boy.
And that was after you drowned the first time, or was that before you drowned?
I don't know which side.
Because I would think of it for sure. Like after, like, oh heck, no, we ain't about to do this again. So where was the first place you went to when you went to the States? Like what was it, Texas?
Yeah. So my mom, she had joined the military while I was still young, and originally I was staying out there with my auntie while my mom was in Korea and stuff like that. Then she got based in Fort Hood. So when she got based in Fort Hood, she came back to the island to get me, and that's when I went to go live with my mom.
I would have thought in Fort Hood because that's like probably one of the biggest ones out here, if not the biggest. Yeah, so for sure. So being a military brat, how's that?
Man, it was a lot of moving, you know. But you get used to making friends. You get used to making friends, but I feel like that it's good and bad because you're like. I see people and I know people that's like, yeah, I've had friends that since I was 2, and I was like, I don't have that.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, like it made me so personable. It made me, I guess, not accustomed to loss, but it makes you a bit more mature on it. Like things come and go about life. You know what I'm saying? People will come and go.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes you more appreciative of the people that you have around you. I feel like, especially since like my oldest friend that I have now, I've had him since I was like 14 years old, and it was me and him and Fred and David. My first one's in Orlando, and Orlando, he's gone now. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the oldest friend. That's one of the oldest friends I've had. So I'm just like it brings everything into perspective whenever you get into the real world. You know what I mean?
Exactly, because you're not going to know those people forever. As people come and go, like you said,
Yeah.
and you learn it at a young age. That helps you out a lot.
Yeah.
Instead of when you're in high school, like, dang, my friend, now he's gone. Like some people, you know, like
No,
you said, were since they were 2.
trust me, like I was definitely Orlando. I've had lots of friends pass, but he was definitely the one that hit me. You know what I mean? Because like that brought me back to reality. I feel like that's why that one brings me.
You said that was your oldest friend too,
Yeah,
right?
that's one of my oldest friends.
R.I.P.
Him, David, and Fred, and they're my oldest friends that I still have now. And that one impacted me because the whole thing with people always like coming and going, it makes me think people are always gonna like if I'm still cool with you, I'm always gonna be there. So I'm focused, tunnel vision. And he ended up passing away, and I hadn't seen him in a while. And I didn't go, I was so uninvolved to where certain things were happening that I wasn't aware of, and it put me kind of back into more of a perspective of I need to appreciate people more, you know what I mean, because I got so used to like coming and going, people coming, you know what I'm saying, like because I'm a very firm believer. My mom always taught me, just because you guys don't talk every day don't mean your friends have died. You know what I mean? And that's the mature way to have about it. But like, you still gotta reach out. And
yeah, you can still pop a text here, pop a call, just because you don't see the homie. You know, like you said, you working. How long have you been doing music?
I've been using music since I was 17. I want to say like it's iffy because I started playing instruments when I was like 13, 14. Like,
so you started the producing aspect before the actual the hip hop?
No, I wasn't even producing yet. I started producing at 17, but I was just like, say for instance, I was playing the drums for the church. So like I was just straight musician, you know what I'm saying? Just straight musician. And then like my boy Kevin, he this is one of Orlando's best friends. I met Kevin through Orlando, and he had like, I can find blah blah blah, and I was like, you know what? Me and Fred, we've been writing songs. We've been writing, poetry. He started singing. He was like, I want to make beats. I don't want to pay for stuff. And freaking Kevin cracked FL Studio for me, and I made a beat. And then Orlando was like, "What? Give me that." And then so he got it from Kevin, and he started making beats the next day. And it was like kind of like a little battle thing for a little while. So that was
good old Fruity Loops cracked.
Yeah, exactly. Come clutch for everybody, you know what I'm saying?
They locked that down even more now. You ain't getting that crack no more. That crack. And if you got the crack, it's the old school ass version. That's how you know it's like, oh, he got the cracked version. He ain't buying it. That's funny. What part do you like more? Producing? If you had to pick, producing or actually being on the record, artist mode?
That's tough. Because I've been asked that question before, and I can never choose one. Because I view them so differently. I'm in different modes in my life when I'm making beats and when I'm writing my music, and I enjoy them both thoroughly. And it's funny because I was originally, when I first started making music, I was only producer. I made a whole group. Nah, I'm not gonna rap, blah blah blah. They heard me rap one time, and they was like, "Oh, if you don't rap, we're leaving." And I was like, oh,
damn, shouts out to them.
Yeah. So then I got more used to writing, and then I fell in love with it, but I fell in love with it in a different way. Music, it makes me feel expressive. Like when I'm playing the drums, I love like crashing down on everything. When I'm playing the keys, I'm like Stevie Wonder. I got my eyes closed.
You gotta do that if you're gonna do it.
But when I'm writing my music, I feel like I'm trying to reach a different source. You know what I'm saying? Versus just having fun. So it's kind of hard for me to put I choose one or the other. I'd be like, just kill me now if I had to choose one or both. Just kill me now.
Just kill you now.
Yeah,
okay, you say you ain't gonna pick. You say you gonna pick one or the other. I like it. Talk about your studio.
My studio is something that I've been doing for a long time.
Drop the name.
Broad Vision Studios. And I've been doing that for quite a while actually. But originally, Broad Visions was my music group, and we had our own studios because I wasn't the only engineer in there. I wasn't the only engineer or producer. My right hand man, Mr. Frosty.
Well, you do that, you're gonna kill yourself. Music, beat, all that. You're gonna be like, damn, I'm tired. But keep on going. Say Frosty.
Yeah, Mr. Frosty. He was my right hand man through like from the beginning, and he was also an engineer and producer and artist and stuff. And we had a couple other artists and producers and stuff like that. So we had a studio. We've been doing studio time. We just was like, I would say since like 2015, 2016, but we didn't take it to any kind of level. So how long have that's been going on? For a long time. How long have I been taking it seriously? And like with trying to push it, about a year.
About a year
or so, yeah.
Was it stressful for you to get it, like when you're like, okay, we're gonna take this to the next level, kind of like what you were saying? You said you were doing it, but you're like, we can still take this a step up.
Yeah. Like it was definitely a different transition because the biggest thing that holds people back from taking things to the next level is the knowledge. Everything is actually pretty easy to do with consistency, but you just have to know what to do, how to do it properly. There's a difference between trying to do something, as, say for instance, a side hustle like we were doing. We're like, yeah, we're doing it. We got studio time. Yeah, come pay us, and having a business. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so there's certain, but the only difference between that is lack of knowledge and action. You know what I'm saying? So so you wouldn't be doing anything different. So I guess that was the biggest part for me, is learning how to properly market myself.
Did you tap in with any of the studios, maybe like Birdhouse? You know the Birdhouse?
Yeah, yeah.
Did you tap in with anybody just to kind of seek some knowledge, or is it more just like self-taught? You and your boys just, let's read up, maybe look at some old documentaries even. Like, how did you get the knowledge?
The knowledge of engineering.
Well, just in the sense of
like
getting the studio,
together.
Yeah.
Studio together, as far as that goes, like the business, the studio, trying to like push it as a whole, as a brand. I didn't really tap in with anybody out here personally. Like I had already been around quite a couple of studios that was like, say for instance, you heard of Royalties Studios out here, Jaywalk and them.
Yeah, no Jaywalk. Shouts out Jaywalk doing that thing.
Yeah, shout out Jaywalk.
Running the studio.
I know.
I'm not sure if she's still running it at the moment. Actually, I was just talking to a mutual friend of mine of hers about that the other day.
I didn't want to ask.
Yeah, but the person who sponsored Royalties originally was also our manager. So like I've seen like, and we see how far Royalty Studios did get and how big they were getting. They brought Lil Baby, Megan Thee Stallion, all these big names.
No, yeah,
out
bringing
here.
them before they got big, like
real.
striking when you know what I'm saying, iron was hot.
Yeah, so I learned the structure from like watching certain things. I saw how James guided them, and I've always been like taking notes about myself. And also I've went to a lot of I do have a lot of producer idols that I've that always motivated me with the way that they do things. You know what I mean? Like,
What's one? Name one.
Just Blaze. Just Blaze and Ryan Leslie.
You like Jermaine Dupri?
Jermaine Dupri is fire too.
Because he writes, does all of it.
He does all of it.
He might be one of the few like that actually writes the records.
Nah, but like the thing with JD is he never gave away knowledge for free at the time. Like these people like Ryan Leslie, they were easily accessible on YouTube.
They were. Ryan Leslie.
Yeah, he was ahead of his game.
He was way heavy. Even giving like free master classes on YouTube basically.
Yeah. So like that's and I liked his personality, the way he did it, and the fact that I kind of related to him as far as the aspect as he sang, he rapped, he played all these instruments, and like I loved watching him create tracks from scratch, like especially like you ever seen those old Ryan Leslie videos when he was making the stuff and he was like, I need a trumpet, orders a trumpet 5 hours later.
All of that
I used to watch, yeah.
See?
It was great quality. Just the how he put the videos together. You know what I mean? Just like cinema quality.
Nah,
he was way ahead.
You get like a trance of him just doing all that. I do remember that. That was a wild man. He was so.
Before, yeah.
You're on to say he was way, and then he did something else. I think with like the downloads or something before. I forgot what it was.
Trying to, well, his thing was emails. He was trying to gather as many emails as he can. I think he was like up to one point 100,000 emails, and then he would shoot off. When his album dropped, he'll shoot them off to all those emails, and he would make certain amount of sales, which was he would make more money doing that than signing with a label.
Yeah, I remember that whole like. That because that was one of the things I was trying to do, like the whole email until people got hip to it and it started becoming obsolete. You know what I'm saying? Like a spam folder.
Then spam and exactly.
Yeah,
interesting. But Ryan Leslie, man, that's a good one to I would say look up to, but kind of just model yourself in a sense. You know what I'm saying? After.
Yeah, he's an underrated GOAT.
Definitely he's underrated.
Yeah, he's behind
and Just Blaze too.
Yeah.
Don't even start with Just Blaze.
That's a whole nother conversation.
What do you think about the Austin scene?
I like it, actually. To be honest, I see a lot of good and a lot of bad, but based on what
one good and one bad. Look, I'm putting him on the spot.
I'm gonna start with the bad first, but this is the same bad that everybody says about their own city. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody works together. But I will say that is what everybody's gonna say in their city, no matter what.
Is Atlanta saying that?
Yes, they are.
It can't be.
Yes, they are.
And if they are, that's cat.
Did you ever see the Amaretta video interviews and stuff like that after she just went viral for her not Atlanta.
But I was
following that.
But I mean, I think there's like a small certain people, amount of people. Because look at all the people, OJ the Juice Man was getting looks, and he was terrible.
I mean,
Waka Flocka, it's just.
It's about who you know.
No, true that.
2 Chainz.
But they have some people who, they'll give them the opportunity. In Austin, I don't think that they have. But have that just yet.
That's because we don't have anybody here. Even if the people were here, I feel like it would be the same situation. It's all about who you know. It's about how you talk to them, and it's not about people. The whole thing about the music scene now is everybody's like, nobody works together. Well, that's because we're in a different time period. Back then, they had to work together. Now, we don't. We have access to the internet, so we have access to anywhere in the world. Back then, all they had was each other. They had to depend on each other to word of mouth to get out to those other places. So of course they're gonna work together. Hand to hand, word of mouth. And now everybody's like
phone to phone.
Now everybody's trying to chase like a social media image or or trying to portray themselves as somebody they're not trying to impress the people that's around them instead of to work with the people around them. Because they want other people to look at them like they're better than them. That's why everybody's out here like, no, I charge for a feature. For what, bro?
Don't trust me.
For what?
I hear now, charging for a feature, and I just want to smack my head against put my dome piece through a brick wall. Like, why? Like you said.
Yeah, like, I'm just like, bro, like, you have to be honest, I won't charge for a feature until I know the fact that my name is going to get you this much amount in streams or money or revenue or at least equivalent in the fan base, because, streams and all that stuff is cool, but having loyal fans is where you need, you know what I'm saying? That's where it's gonna be at. You know what I'm saying? Like, so like, I would never charge anybody a feature unless unless I know for a fact that I'm gonna fucking. Okay, you're gonna get 10,000 plays from my thing just for my.
Yeah, you're gonna get a guaranteed amount
for me
that you would feel comfortable with charging somebody.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like if I know, but bro, nobody out here's name's gonna give you 100,000 streams unless you're like Quinn or maybe now Who Killed Kenny.
Think Who Killed Kenny?
Yeah, now.
Think now? Oh, now
he's more of LA though.
No, he ain't really even out here no more doing his thing. He's like a LA transplant now.
He's not
like white too.
He be out here.
But not as much as
he's not as much
South by and stuff.
Yeah,
it benefits him, but not just chilling anymore.
Yeah, actually planting base in Austin. But what's a positive?
A positive is the amount of talent that people have. Like I really hear people now that I swear should be famous. I swear
there's a lot of that out here, and I'm not just putting no cap on that. Like, no, they should be. Like,
because I've been on the scene for a while, so I see a lot of artists, and I was a producer first before I was a rapper, and now I'm getting into like doing business and the deals like on that side too. But like, I put myself in multiple lanes. and these people are just in solo lanes. So like I see a lot of people out here that I'm just like, why are you rapping? Until I see like, say for instance, I went to a show last night because I covered a show with my media company, and it was the Level Up Media's Hip Hop Hall of Fame, and I got put on a couple of artists that I was like, whoa, why are you here? You need to be getting, like, there was a lot of star power on that lineup, and I was like, this is crazy. And I was like, I love that about Austin, is because if you shift through the bullshit, you can find like some gems that people would pay millions for.
There's a lot of that. And then at the same time, you never know what can go. It's just all about getting it in front of people. Having people seeing it multiple times.
Yeah.
Talk about that Hip Hop Hall of Fame. You said it was last night?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got him. We just had Don Hark on the other day. They invited to us, but we've been so busy. How was it?
It was packed. I'm not gonna lie, the crowd was pretty nice. I went in there to go see my boys, Tribe Mafia.
Yeah, shout out to them.
Yeah,
Shout out Tribe Mafia.
Shout out Tribe. But I went out there to see my boys and to I'm trying to build the reputation of my brand, studio, everything, and reputation is about showing up. That's something I've realized recently, so I'm trying to put that into action.
Sometimes it's tough to do when you got a hectic ass schedule, though. Yeah. It's not like you just teleport somewhere. You're like, God dang, I wish I can get over there. Trust me.
Trust me. That's why I haven't been on the scene like I needed to. You know what I'm saying? But that's why I'm trying to consciously no, I didn't want to, and I was like, nope. You don't want to, and you know that you don't want to. So how about you force yourself to go do it? That was my thing last night. So I wanted to touch base because I'm an artist as well. I was gonna try and hey, put me on this next show. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But also trying to network with artists. Hey, I do write ups, blah blah blah, on my and try and network with producers and stuff like that, because I also I try to touch base with younger producers and stuff like that to try and bring people together. What are you working on, little homie? You know what I mean?
The generational gap too.
You know
that's the biggest thing.
Exactly. So I've done. That's actually how I originally met Stephen Q. He was one of my original young homies out here with Alchemy, the producer out here, and that's when I first started it years ago, 3-4 years ago. And ever since then, it's been different things. Like last night, I was talking to a young cat, and one of the questions he asked me was when you're trying to put yourself in a different position, what are 3 things that you think a young producer should do? And I was like, you're asking the right questions. You know what I'm saying? So I'm actually take some time to talk to you. You know what I'm saying? Because you ever get those vibes when you walk into one of these shows out here, and sometimes you walk into it and you feel like you're walking into some people, but the other times you feel like you're walking into a whole TV show. A room full of characters, Love and Hip Hop Austin type of shit. Bro, I don't like being around that. You know what I'm saying? So when I get that genuine connection with people, I try to pass on as much knowledge as I can. You know what I mean? So
hell yeah. Upcoming projects. I know you had the On My Own single that just dropped not too long ago, early last month.
Yeah.
Is that part of EP, or are you just gonna start, doing singles right now? A singles run with some visuals.
I dropped 3 EPs last year, or 2 EPs and a couple singles last year, and I'm changing that direction this year. So I'm gonna be just dropping singles. I feel like I don't have the traction to where to my standard, personal standard, because I have fans and stuff like that. It's just to my personal standard, I don't want to sell anybody an album or a project or something like that until I know that I'm okay, bet I have a certain amount of people watching.
I love the honesty.
You know what I'm saying?
I love the honesty to where a lot of people they about to go crazy for me, man, and then when they drop, it's it's just about being real. Being real, yeah. Yeah, because you said, to your standard.
Yeah, to my standard, because I'm one of the I've done songs with people that is rapping with the baby, and he's rapping, he's performing on the baby show the and shout out to Murph Fontaine out there in Jersey and stuff like that. But and done features with the baby and certain things like that, and I'm just that's what got me the plays and the fans that I do have, because I have organic fan base versus people out here saying that they're the shit but paying for their plays and talking it up. I feel like now more than anything, artists need to come with genuinity. You know what I mean? Like, just stop putting on a front about some shit, and people are gonna relate to it more. You know what I mean?
You gotta be relatable.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing. Like, it's not bad to be like to want to make a whole bunch of fun music and stuff like that, because that's relatable. But whenever you put yourself on a certain pedestal that you know you're not on, that's like, and that's with everybody and everywhere. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's what holds people back from success the most. Because once you have that thing, that like kind of blinder on, that shade, it's hard to like see where you need to grow to actually put you up there. So you know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I try to come with some genuinity with everything that I try to do. You know what I mean? So
heck yeah. Where can we find you at on social media and on the DSPs, digital streaming platforms? Is it all Khilla Keys?
All Khilla Keys, KHILLAKEYS.
Space in between?
No space.
No space.
No spaces. No spaces.
No spaces.
You might
even
need
on
to. You
Apple
might
Music?
need to add beats on some platforms. If I don't pop up, just put beats. You know what I'm saying?
So you're gonna find me somewhere, goddamn.
Yeah, but Khilla Keys. If nobody spells Khilla Keys like that, so it should pop up. Don't you?
Yeah, I like it. I like it. Well, shoot, man, I appreciate you coming through. I'm gonna be looking out for all the singles you drop. If you got any visuals too, shit, man. This is Jet, Khilla Keys. I'm with Pop Awesome Media. I'm signing out.
Yes, sir. Appreciate y'all.